Hi, my name is Derek Ouellette from derekouellette.ca, and if you're watching this video from anywhere else, go to my website, check out the different type of content I have on there about having more influence online, about growing your platforms, about getting your message out there as a Christian and as a believer in particular. If you got a mission, I blog a lot about that. I write about that. I podcast about that. I create courses about that. So go check that out. Again, that's derekouellette.ca. Today, I just want to take just a couple of minutes to talk about one of the key features that I've discovered that has had a huge impact on the number of followers that I have. So a huge impact on the influence that I've created online. And so it's going to be really simple. It's going to seem almost too simple. Believe me, it's not. Like, it is simple on the one hand. On the other hand, when I send out emails asking people, what's your biggest challenge? They always send me emails, and this is the number one thing that people find challenging. So it's on the one hand super simple, and on the other hand it can be very challenging. I got my notes right here, so I'm gonna just glance down every once in a while. But here's the thing. Have you ever noticed that if you're on Twitter, you'll have that section on Twitter where it says, here's your recommendations. So Twitter will recommend that you follow certain people. On Instagram, there's that discovery section where you can click that tab and there's all these discoveries. Some of the content on there is popular worldwide. Others may be just related to circles within, or people who are connected, kind of like that 6 degrees of separation, people who are connected to people that you follow or who are following you. And then also same thing with Facebook. So I want to talk about the way that you can get into that. This is really simple, and yet it's really it's really a barrier for a lot of people. And here it is. The number one way to get onto those places, the discovery tab, the recommendations tab on Twitter or on Instagram, is simply to be consistent and to post content. Now, like I said, that sounds really simple, but here's the thing. For years, I was so frustrated with sharing content on Twitter and growing my platform because I felt like I couldn't get new followers. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get new people to follow me. And I felt like Twitter was just such a big waste of time. And I would go on there and I'd post 3 or 4 things and then get nothing in response and think that I was getting no ROI, no return on my investment of time. And so I would leave it, then come back a couple of weeks later maybe and post a couple other things. And the same thing with Facebook, and same thing with a lot of my other social media platforms, and I just wasn't growing. But then I began to change up my strategy, and one of the most important and significant things I started doing is posting consistently. Because when you post consistently, Twitter notices that your content's being out there, so does Instagram. They notice that people are engaging with your content, and engagement moves your content into those areas where Twitter will say to other people, hey, here's a recommendation for you, follow at Derek Ouellette, because he's posting content and it's related to you in some way, and we think that you'll find it interesting. But if you don't post content, then they're not going to boost you up there. There's a simple philosophy here, really, really simple. If you don't post content, you won't get engagement. A lot of people complain, well, I'm not getting enough engagement. That could be true, that's probably true, but here's the thing, are you posting content? Because on places like Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, 1 like, 1 heart, 1 star equals 1 more chance to be noticed. If you don't post something, then I'll tell you how one way you can get 0 engagement. Post nothing, get 0 engagement. So you have to post absolutely consistently. And I know that it's difficult to find content to share, and there's different strategies that I've found to do that. Now, here's what I've discovered. In the past, like I said, I had absolutely no engagement on places like Twitter. After a couple of years, I eventually grew my Twitter account through shady practices to about 1,800 followers. And then I couldn't grow it beyond them because Twitter set limits, because I wasn't using the platform the way I was supposed to, and I certainly wasn't being present on it. It wasn't like I wasn't building my home on Twitter. Now, my Twitter account is growing crazy. It's my number 1 social media platform. I always tell people between May 2015 and October 2015, I grew my Twitter account from 1,800 followers to more than 11,000. And today it is way beyond that. In fact, I'm about to tell you about 1 month that I got 5,000 new followers. But here's the thing. I'm going to tell you about two social media sites that I'm not growing on at all. The first social media site I'm not growing on is Facebook. And the second social media site I'm not growing on is Google+. And I'm going to tell you why. The number one reason those sites are dead for me is because I don't post content on there on a regular basis. So I'm just going to admit it. I've made my home in Twitter because I've found that Twitter is the platform for me, is where my followers are, and I post content and those sites are exploding. I'm not sharing content consistently on Facebook. I'm not sharing content on Google Plus very often, and those sites are simply not growing. Now, there's actually a motivation now for me to share content consistently. And here it is. This is huge. I hope you pay attention to this, because here's what I've discovered. On Twitter, between 25 and 50% of my new followers viewed my profile before they followed me. I'm going to say that again because this is mind-blowing. If you've ever looked at your Twitter stats, this is true for me. Between 25 and 50% of my new followers first view my profile before they follow me. So when people are considering following me, they'll go to my profile first, and I want them to see that I've got fresh content on there. I want them to see that I'm posting content that's going to be relevant to them, that's going to matter to them, and that's why posting consistently is so significant for me. So let me give you an example. This is huge. In December of 2015, I had over 10,000 people visit my Twitter profile. 10,000. And guess how many? You'll never guess how many people followed me in December. I had over 5,000 highly targeted Twitter followers 1 month. 5,000 new followers, 10,000. That's a 50% of the people who visited my profile page became my followers. And they wouldn't have done that if they went to my profile page and saw that I hadn't posted something in a week, or in 3 days, or in 3 months like it used to be. I would just post randomly. So what I found is that actually my consistency feeds itself. The whole process feeds itself. So my consistency is fueled by my new followers. So I want my new followers to see them consistent. So I'm being consistent because I'm getting new followers, and getting new followers is fueled by being consistent. So I've got this engine that is just working in my favor right now, and I'm creating more influence. I've got more people clicking my sites, more people engaging with my content. I'm getting new email subscribers. I'm selling products. I'm having huge influence. Now, being consistent isn't the only key. There's actually a couple of other pieces of ingredients that go into having huge impact on Twitter. And one of those is I follow the right people. So I have a very specific criteria to determine who I follow. And the second is I unfollow the wrong people. And again, that's significant to me as well. I got a specific criteria, and I look, do they have a profile picture? Because that tells me whether or not they're really engaged on the site. What type of content are they sharing? How did I follow them in the first place? And are they living up to the standards by which I thought I was getting when I started to follow them? So I just wanted to encourage you to post consistently if you want to have powerful impact online. And I've developed a whole course around this called my Maximum Twitter Impact course, because there is actually a blueprint to growing and having impact on Twitter. Unlike Facebook, unlike Google+, unlike some of the other platforms, Twitter, there's actually a blueprint. In fact, in May, I told you I had about 1,800 followers going up to May of 2015, and then it exploded. What changed? I'll tell you what changed. I took a course by someone who was teaching me how to have impact and grow on Twitter, and I implemented what she taught. I made some tweaks to fit my context, and my Twitter, it literally is a blueprint. My Twitter account exploded, and now I've got thousands and thousands and thousands of new followers every month. I'm not talking just in every month. I got thousands of new followers. As I just mentioned, as you can see, I'm going to put up a screenshot here. I got 5,000 in December alone, and these are highly targeted new followers. If you're interested in taking that course, then there's a link right beneath this video, or you can check out derekouellette.ca/Twitter Impact, and you could look into this course. You don't even have to take it, but just look into it, because I guarantee it is a blueprint that will give you guaranteed result. And if you don't want to take the course right now, you're not ready for the course, not a problem, because I just gave you one of the key ingredients to having awesome, consistency, awesome impact on Twitter, and that is post consistently. And so I hope you utilize that. I hope you found this valuable, and go ahead and visit my website, derekouellette.ca. Leave a comment beneath this video and tell me what you think. Ask me any questions you have, and I will do my best to answer them.